Are you or a loved one in need of an immigration benefit and you are trying to decide whether or not to hire an immigration lawyer or do it yourself? Well, one thing about immigration is very complex and it is ever changing. And for this particular type of law, the stakes are high. So, in order to make sure that you receive an approval and you don't waste time and money, you definitely want to consider hiring an immigration lawyer. But understand that all immigration lawyers are not similarly situated. So, here are 7 questions to ask an immigration lawyer before you hire them to decide if they're a right fit for you. Question number 1. How much of your practice or what percentage of your practice is devoted to immigration? The reason why this question is important is because immigration law is one of those types of laws that is ever changing, and you always have to stay on top of it. You need to know the new policies, procedures, regulations, and things like that. Also, immigration law is not one of those types of laws that you can dibble and dabble in. So, for instance, if someone has a business transaction practice, real estate transaction practice, and oh yes, I do immigration law as well, you kind of want to run. Immigration law it takes time, it takes effort. It is one of those areas that you have to be fully devoted to in order to make sure that you are always doing the best for your client and always making sure that you are up to date on the ever-changing rules and regulations as it relates to immigration law. Here at LaGrone Law, we we handle immigration cases, I would say around 90 to 95% of the time. The other 5 or 10% is criminal law, but we cross that over and we call that crimmigration because it is the intersection of immigration law and criminal law. So in other words, we understand immigration consequences to criminal convictions. So 90 to 95% though is fully devoted to immigration and handling immigration type petitions. Question number 2. Are you a member of any professional organizations or associations dedicated to immigration law? When an attorney is a member of an organization or an association, they are able to receive updates on the laws, updates on policies, procedures, regulations, updates on anything that is changing. That attorney is also able to take continuing education classes to make sure that they are abreast on everything immigration, as well as be able to have camaraderie and community with other like-minded attorneys. So if you are a member of an immigration association, like the American Immigration Lawyers Association, the attorney is able to bounce scenarios off of other attorneys and keep in touch with other attorneys, ask questions, be able to attend webinars and panel discussions and things like that as it relates to immigration law to always make sure that he or she is up to date on what is happening so that they can best serve their clients. I am a member of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. And in fact, I have spoken on many panels at our national convention and our national conferences as it relates to immigration law. So you know that when you speak to me about your case and about any sort of scenario that you have as it relates to immigration law, I will have the knowledge and be up to date on what are your options. And if I do not have that particular answer at the time, I can always reach out to the association or to my fellow colleagues and run the scenario by them to see if they had ever heard of anything like that or to figure out what would be the best method to move forward. Question number 3. Have you successfully handled cases like mine and what was the outcome? This question is so very important. Not saying that all immigration cases are the same and all scenarios are the same so that all attorneys would know every, scenario and handle every type of case and things like that. But it is very important for the attorney to get the information from you regarding your case, get your story, and then think back to any types of similar stories or any type of similar situations that fit your same type of case or is similar to your case, and were they successful with the outcome? Did they get an approval? Did they get maybe a request for evidence and they were able to overcome that? Did they get a notice of intent to deny and were able to overcome that? Or was it a situation where they received a denial on it and not able to explain why and not able to overcome the denial? So it is very important to know if the attorney has handled cases that are, I would say, similar to yours, because I'm going to say that all immigration cases are unique in one way, shape, or form. And there is probably not two cases that are exactly identical. But as an immigration lawyer, we are able to know your options, know what should happen in your case, know how to handle it, know the type of evidence that is needed for your particular situation in order to receive an approval. So I'm sure that there's one, way, shape, or form that an attorney would have received or would have had a case that is somewhat similar to yours to be able to give you the outcome that they received in that case, so that you are well aware and you know whether or not that immigration lawyer can handle your situation. At LaGrone Law, we have handled hundreds and hundreds of cases, and we get approvals. So no matter your situation, no matter the options that are available to you, first of all, we're going to keep it 100% upfront with you to let you know if there is an option for you. And if there is an option for you, we want to get an approval. So that means that we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that your case, your evidence, and everything is tight as can be before we even send it in to the government. And although cases are not identical, we have seen many, many, many different types of situations and scenarios, and we have gotten approvals on those cases. Question number 4. How do you communicate with clients and keep them informed about their case and the process? Communication is so very important. And in fact, lack of communication is one of the things that attorneys tend to get in trouble with the Bar Association for, because they do not communicate properly and they do not keep their clients abreast of their case and what is happening. So you definitely want to ask, how do you communicate? Because it could be via phone call, it could be via an email to update you, it could be a text message, or it could be, hey, we just send in your case and then we don't talk to you again until there is an approval or there is a denial or we have a question. So you definitely want to find out how the attorney communicates with you for your case. At LaGrone Law, that's one thing that we pride ourselves on, is we pride ourselves on keeping in touch with our clients. We pride ourselves on great communication, because with immigration law, some cases take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6+ years. And we have to keep in touch with our clients, because if not, they're going to wonder what is going on, even though it's taking so long, and that's a normal processing time. But even if it is just sending an email to say, hey, wanted to let you know that your case is still in process. The current processing times are, 24 to 36 months. And if we hear anything, we will let you know. But just letting you know that as of today, it's still in process and we haven't heard anything. We send out monthly emails to our clients to keep in touch with them. Also, too, in the beginning, we find out from our clients what is the best communication style for them. Do they read emails? Because everyone doesn't read emails. So is it a text message? Do they need a phone call and they want us to, leave them a voice message if they don't answer? Some people don't even have voicemail. So it could be, hey, send me a text message, and then others prefer email. So we always find out what is the best communication style for our clients. And then we are able to continuously keep in touch with them and keep them abreast of their case with monthly status updates. And in some of the cases where we know that the processing times is long. It's the 2, 3, 4, year type of case. We do not send monthly updates because it's kind of sort of, it kind of doesn't make sense to do that. But what we do is we'll send a quarterly update each year to let them know, hey, it's still within processing times. We're still monitoring the case, and we'll let you know when we hear something. Question number 5. Are you proactive or reactive in your handling of cases? Ooh, this one is another good one, because with immigration, we can technically, as attorneys, we could be on the reactive type of spectrum, meaning if we want to just send in an application or send a petition as is, not all the evidence that's needed, not make a very strong case from the beginning, and kind of one of those things like throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. And then what'll happen is immigration will come back to us and say, hey, here's an RFE, meaning a request for evidence. Please send us X, Y, and Z in order for us to fully make a determination on this case. That is more of a reactive way. It's more of a, hey, we just want to get these cases off of our desk. We just want to send them in. We want to see what happens. And then when the government comes back and asks us for additional evidence, we will supply that evidence. At LeGrone Law, we are proactive. We are proactive all day. We will not send in a half-completed petition. No way, shape, or form. We make sure that all of our filings are top-notch from the beginning, that the evidence is there to support our claim, that the evidence is there to support a bona fide marriage. It makes no sense to not have a complete application, because when you have a complete application and you actually build a story for immigration and you let them know, from the beginning to end, maybe how this couple met, how they fell in love, how they got to this day here, what is their future plans and things like that. We build that story for immigration and we supply all of the necessary evidence for them. They can't do nothing but approve it. They can't send an RFE because we've already submitted everything properly. They can't deny it because we've already submitted everything properly. So they have no option but to approve it. And in this day and age right now, what's happening is if you have a complete file, if you are sending in all of the evidence that's needed, if you are making a strong case for your clients like we do, then we're getting approvals without even an interview for some of our marriage-based petitions. That is huge, and that is what you want to see. You want a proactive attorney who is going to dot all their I's and cross all their T's from the beginning, so that we don't have to go back and forth and play phone tag with documents and phone calls and things like that. And you want a smooth process so that you can get an approval the first time around. Question number 6. Can you provide references from past clients who were satisfied with your immigration services? This is huge, guys. This is huge, because at the end of the day, it's going to let you know if that attorney has had clients who are satisfied and happy with their services, because there's no other way to truly know someone's work unless you have a satisfied client. And with satisfied clients, they're going to announce it from the rooftop. They're going to do Google reviews. They are going to do video testimonials. They will shout your name to all of their friends and family members because they know how well of a job that you did for them. At LeGrone Law, we have happy clients. We have clients that are shouting our name from the rooftops. We have clients who are sending us referrals over and over and over again because they are so ecstatic about the services that we provided to them, not only because of the approval, but because also the customer service. They're treated like family. They're not treated like a number. They're not treated like an immigrant or a quote unquote illegal. They are treated like a human being with a story to tell, and ultimately they have received an immigration benefit from doing business with us. Question number 7. What does your fee structure look like? Is it flat fee? Is it hourly? Do you have payment plans? Everyone does their fee structure differently, okay? You could have an attorney who bills you hourly, And so, their hourly rate could be, $350 to $400 an hour. They might bill their paralegals out at, $150 an hour or something like that. But at the end of the day, it creates a very large invoice for you, because that means that you're going to get nickeled and dimed. So every phone call, every text, every email, any sort of communication with you, you're playing phone tag back and forth, you're emailing back and forth, any questions that you have, anything like that, on an hourly basis can definitely add up. And sometimes people don't understand that, but when you then ultimately get this invoice for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, then you're like, what the heck just happened? And it's, simply because you had questions, you had concerns, you reached out to the paralegal, the paralegal called you to confirm or to verify some information, for your petition, and so on and so forth. So some attorneys, they do bill hourly. Some attorneys bill flat fee. Flat fee is more of the way to go, because it lets you know what your bottom line number is. Like, there's no surprises. At the end of the day, it's like, hey, for this type of petition, our fee is X. And you will know, what that fee is, because, the attorney has told you it is this amount. So you know what you have to pay. You know that you won't have any overage because you have questions about your filing and you need to contact the attorney or contact the legal staff. You know from the jump how much money you need to budget for this particular type of case, because it is flat fee and it has already been stated. Also, too, now some attorneys offer payment plans. So in other words, that means that you don't have to come up with the full amount up front. It is a percentage or a deposit amount, and then you're able to be placed on monthly payments. And then that way you're able to finalize and complete your bill over time. And with immigration, because sometimes your cases take so long, the attorneys that offer payment plan structures and things like that know that ultimately you're going to pay, they're going to get their money because you're going to be a client for a long period of time. So it just makes sense. At LaGrone Law, we do flat fee billing. So we let you know from the jump, hey, this particular type of petition, this adjustment of status is this much amount of money. And that is the fee that we charge for our services. And then, of course, you have your fees that you will have to pay to the government for that particular type of case. But for the attorney, from the beginning how much the case is going to be, so then you're able to adequately budget for it. In addition to flat fees, we also offer our clients payment plans. We're not trying to have you come in and drop a whole bunch of money at the beginning, and then maybe wonder how you're going to pay your filing fees once we submit the application and the petition, and so on and so forth. So we do allow for payment plans, and we have a minimum deposit down on those payment plans, and then we're able to just bill you monthly for the remainder of the case. And it's been working perfectly for our clients. They love it because we are really trying to work with them. And don't forget, in immigration, this is a situation where usually, it's a U.S. citizen, with an immigrant who is not able to work right now and maybe not able to help that U.S. citizen or help that lawful permanent resident, that green card holder, with the case until they are able to get their work authorization, where they're not able to get their work authorization until their petition is filed. So, we understand that, and we want to make it as easy and painless as possible. And we want you to be able to come to a lawyer and trust a lawyer, and trust that that lawyer is not going to just, take all your money and not do anything for you, or, always just ask for fees, and at the end of the day, kind of just leave you high and dry. So with LaGrone Law, we flat fee bill, and we also have payment plans to help out our clients in any way, shape, or form that we can. And our payment plans always start at a minimum deposit, and then you're able to pay monthly to complete your payment. So all of these things are things to think about when considering hiring an immigration lawyer. Now, if after this video you were like, ooh, I like her, and I like the information that she had to tell me, I like where she's coming from, and it all sounds great, and you are in need of an immigration lawyer, Feel free to go to our website at www.lagronelaw.com, click on the Contact Us page, and fill out the form so that we can contact you and have a case and set you up for a case strategy session. Or if you're like, okay, I want to talk to somebody now, I might have some additional questions, or I want to go ahead and book a case strategy session ASAP, feel free to give us a call. You can reach us at 678-250-5449 if you are in the States. And if you are in the U.S. Virgin Islands, you can reach us at 340-626-0778. We are excited to hear from you, and we cannot wait to help you on your immigration journey.